about cold, gray, grim mornings? Nothing. So welcome to another vlog. I believe I'm going to call this one episode 35. If it's not 35, it's 34, but you can just check the title and see what it actually is. This morning started off as a really kind of a gloomy gray day, but it has turned into just a beautiful day. So thanks for coming along. Hey, I got to do a special shout out to one of my subscribers who volunteers here, and he's on their volunteer crew, and I can't say who he is, but he's a really awesome guy, and it's a pleasure to know him. And this was for you. This was your shout out. So thanks for being a subscriber, and thanks for doing what you do. I have a topic that came up in just in the hall. A couple of the people who subscribe to the channel were asking my opinion on, is water wet? Now this has been going around. This debate has been going around campus for a couple of weeks now, maybe a little longer, maybe a couple of months even, and it is a very, very heavily disputed question. Is water wet? Well, I want to respond to that by saying, first of all, we're spending an awful lot of time arguing about something that is kind of pointless. And secondly, the only way to answer that question is to define what wet is. Thus, it becomes a semantic argument. It becomes a debate about the semantics of what exactly does it mean to be wet. One guy said, well, water can't be wet because wet is when you feel wetness. And I said, well then, if wet is a feeling, water can't have a feeling, therefore, water cannot be wet. However, if your definition changes, and if you say that wet is being in contact with a water molecule, then indeed, almost always, water is in contact with another water molecule, and so therefore, water is wet. Now, why would I vlog about something like this? The point I hope to get to, the point I hope that I don't spend 15 minutes trying to make, the point is, the definition of wet determines whether or not water is wet or not. I gotta do something else. I'll be right back. Alright, so I had to pull off the side of the road and do a shout out to a really awesome young man who he deserves a shout out. So that's what happened. You'll see that somewhere else. Anyway, we're talking about water being wet, and the reason I'm vlogging about it is because how many pointless arguments come down to how you define something. Sometimes it's that definition that drives the whole conflict, because one person defines it one way and someone else defines it another way. I'm on the way to do another one of the work-based learning site checks. I obviously do a lot of these because it's kind of what I do. So and had one of the young ladies in my youth group, every time we would drive by, she would go, she would point, she would go, hey, hey. I never forget that. So I recently vlogged about simple pleasures. one of the things is getting, you know, joy out of reaching your goals and reaching your objectives. And so my goal and objective for this trip was to not miss the turn into the driveway of the place where I'm going. Because the last 2 times I've come, I have been like, should have turned. Oh, are you kidding? I didn't miss it. I just turned early. If I miss it, I'm gonna. So, time to go in and do this visit thing. Well, I had a good visit in at my work-based learning stop, and now I'm on my way back. Well, I want to wrap this video up by thanking you for watching it. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you will click the like button. Also, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends, share this with whomever might be interested, and come back and see you in the next episode. Just remember that, you know, sometimes water wet, water not wet, is it really worth arguing about? Maybe think about it. So, see you in the next video. You ever tried to use a proximity pass card? You know, you just wave in front of the sensor. And you ever tried to use one to go through a gate in a vehicle where the window doesn't roll down?